Hey guys, welcome to the Woolen Homestead. This is a video podcast about knitting, spinning, and hand dyeing yarn. My name is Tiffany and I'm coming to you from Midland, Michigan. You can find me as the Woolen Homestead on various social media, as well as the yarn that my husband and I dye at thewoolenhomestead.etsy.com. You'll also be able to find links below in the description box to all those places. So welcome back everybody, and hello if you're a new viewer. It's good to see you guys again. It's only been a week, so I'm really excited. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to podcast this week, and I am able to, so I'm very happy about that. Today is Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018, and yeah, it's kind of an overcast spring day, and I've got Ella up here. She's on the bed, and I think she just laid on the tripod a little bit, so sorry if there's a little bit of movement and things like that. So, or if you hear snoring, she likes to snore. So, but yeah, I guess I'll start off first with what am I wearing. I have been wearing this quite a bit. This is my Campside shawl by Alicia Plummer, and I love this. I've been really gravitating toward this lately. It's a DK weight shawl. It's a free pattern, and yeah, it's really awesome. It's just got this really neat eyelet detail, and I really like the ribbing down here. It's just a really, really great pattern. I'm really actually considering knitting this again because I really love it, just in a different color. The yarn that I used is Simplicity by Hikoo, and yeah, I had received this from, she was a friend of the family's who couldn't knit anymore, and so she had some yarn and I was able to go through it, and yeah, this was some of the yarn that I got. And then actually I didn't have quite a bit to finish it, so I got some off D-Stash, and yeah, like the dye lots. Actually, I think it might have even been the same dye lot if I recall. I think I got really lucky. Like there's no, I actually forgot that I didn't have enough. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, love this pattern. Highly recommend it. Let's see. So other than that, I guess we'll go into group news. There is a Woolen Homestead Ravelry group, which you can find by searching the Woolen Homestead in the groups tab on Ravelry. Currently in the group we have the basket of Mittens KAL going on, which is a year-long knit-along where we're just knitting mittens, half gloves, fingerless mitts, anything of that sort. They can be children's size, they can be adult size. They don't have to be for you. You can make them as gifts. Things like that. Works in progress are okay. I mean, this is a pretty loose knit along, so we just want as many people to join in as they can. So if you are knitting mittens, feel free to share on social media with the hashtag Basket of Mittens KAL 2018, and then yeah, go ahead and join in. There's also a couple other mitten knit-alongs going on. That's really hard to say really fast. And there's the Year of the Mitten knit-along, which is Treehouse Knits and Knitography, and then there is the year-long knit-along, which is Skein-Deer Knits, and I believe the New Hampshire Knits Mitten KAL is still going on, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. But I know that one's only for a limited amount of time. And then other than that, we did have a spin along, and that has ended. That ended on March 31st. And I do have a winner for that. So the winner was post number 41, who is Molly O'Rourke. I hope I said your name right. And congratulations, Molly, you won the Spring Crocus Socks by Katrine Watts Thorson. And so I will message her and have her send those over to you through Ravelry. And yeah, Molly, when I clicked on your profile, I noticed that we actually have the same birthday and that you're a Michigan girl. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, congratulations. And then other than that, in the group, we also had a giveaway for the Weekend Off shawl by Lily of Nordic Stitches. And I drew a winner for that, and that was post number 7, who is Driftless Knitter. So congratulations, Jennifer. So go ahead, you can message me if you want, letting me know that you saw this, but I will let Lily know so she can send that off to you in your Ravelry mailbox. So congratulations, guys. And yeah, other than that, that's all we've got going on in the group. Besides, as far as knit-alongs go, we still have the introduction thread, we have an ask away thread, we have a show your Woolen Homestead pride thread, so any projects that you're knitting on, you can just post them in there and show them off. And then next, I'd also want to mention that for events, Ethan and I will be visiting the Ann Arbor Fiber Expo, which is well, it's going for a couple of days, but we're going to be there Saturday, April 14th. And yeah, so go ahead. If you guys are going to be there, let me know. And it'll be really fun to see you guys. So we're not vending or anything. We're just going to be shopping. So, but I'm really excited to see my friends and yeah, get some yardy goodness. So I'm really excited. I've been saving my pennies. So can't wait for that. And then yeah, this week I actually wrote these notes out yesterday because I was hoping to podcast on Monday, but it didn't happen, which I will get to more in life stuff. But when I wrote the notes, I did not have a half-finished object, and now I do. So I was on the cuff of these yesterday, and I was like, I might as well finish these up if I podcast tomorrow. So these are a pair of self-striping socks that Ethan dyed up. We're kind of testing out self-striping, so we're still working out the kinks, but we wanted to see, you know, how this worked up. This was the very first one that he ever did. And I just think it's super cool. So there's no colorway name for it or anything, but it does make me think of spring and like gardening and everything. That's kind of what it put me in mind too. But yeah, I did these toe up and it was super, super fun to knit these. I love self-striping yarn. The only thing I might change is, which I'm still learning, is where the placement of my heel. I think it's just a touch short, and even when I was wearing it, it felt just a touch short, but also I know that Superwash socks stretch out fairly easily, so I'm probably gonna wear this one sock with like something else and just see how they wear, and then for my next sock I might just, you know, match it up so they're the same regardless, but I'm hoping that it'll fit pretty well. So yeah, because it wasn't like so short that I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to rip these out, but it was just, I kept kind of having to adjust it a little bit. But the heel matched up perfect. And this is our Tranquil Blue colorway. So I wound this up from the shop and popped that in there, and I just thought that was the perfect little pop-off color for the heel. And it's like, and it worked out perfect that it matched up with the blue stripe when I was putting in the heel. So that was pretty awesome. I mean, you can't even tell. So I love that. So there is another skein of this in the shop currently of Tranquil Blue. If you are interested in that, we do have that there. It's a great tonal for like shawls and everything. You could see like the tonality of it close up. It's just really, really cool. Yep, those are my little spring self-striping socks, and I did the Jenny Surprisingly Stretchy Bind Off, which I really, really like. I like it a lot. I know a lot of people don't like the look of it, which you can kind of see that it does give it a little bit of a wonky look, but they're socks, no one's gonna see them, is what I think. So I don't know, I really like how they fit, so that's why I like to do it. And yeah, so yeah, really, really happy with those, and can't wait to cast on the next one. I actually, last time I showed these, I was like down here. And then when I had those 5 days off, I just, like, anytime we were out, I like popped in the heel real quick because I knew we were going to the movies. And then I just took these to the movies and like just knit, like that whole time. And so those were off the needles pretty quick that way. So that was awesome. So that's my half-finished object. Otherwise, for works in progress, in my little Fox and the Hound embroidery bag, I've got my Speckle and Pop. Oh, so excited. Okay, so last time I showed you guys, I was still on section 1. And I have since finished section 1 and I'm on to section 2. So this is gonna be a little bit harder to show, but I've got it on a really long cable needle, so I should be able to stretch it out. But section 1 is completely done. Here's where I was at last time. So I finished all of that, and then I have just started section 2. I'm running into a little bit of troubles as far as stitch count, so I gotta go back and check because something's not adding up. But I've just started it, and I love it so much. I love it so much. So this is Speckle and Pop by Stephen West, and yes, I'm really, really excited about this. This is all Woolen Homestead yarn. This color, the teal, is Happy Little Narwhal. The pink is Back to the Fuchsia, and the purple is Nebula. And then there's just a bunch of little pops of color throughout. Those have no colorway names. They're just little mini skeins that I dyed up randomly to go with it. So yes, that is my Speckle and Pop shawl, and I love it. I'm addicted to working on this right now. It's so funny because I just think it's so funny. I had considered, you know, ripping it out, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna, you know, finish it, and then I just gave it a break for a long time, and now I'm obsessed with it. So totally worth it. And I'm using size US 4 needles for that. High sharps. Okay, so other than that, I'm also working on the Inward Shawl by Tamy Gore, and it's living in this Daisy Girl and Company bag, which I just love these bags. I cannot say enough good things about these bags. Sherry just does an amazing job. Her workmanship is just beautiful, and like I just love these little details like this, where like she covers up the zipper, and it's just so well made. I love it. And the fabric is beautiful. So the Inward Shawl by Tamy Gore is a DK weight shawl, and this is what I've gotten done. I took this with me over Easter, and yeah, I worked on it in the car. So that's what I've got done. And this is in our Moss colorway. This is on our Superwash Polwarth DK base. I just really love the variation and the tonality of the colors. You get little pops of blue even in there, and I love it. It's so pretty. And then we've got, for the lace section, there's going to be Hagrid's Happy Hour is going to be what I use for that. So yeah, I do have this colorway in the shop currently on Sturdy Sock, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon base. So we do have that. Actually, I've got it right here. This is what it looks like on Sturdy Sock. So yeah, that's it on Sturdy Sock. It is in the shop, but I am loving this pattern. This part is just super mindless and just great car knitting, and I am just loving this so much. So yeah, let me know if you guys would be interested in kits for this, or just not necessarily if you want to do this shawl pattern. Fantastic. Tamy is a great pattern writer. I'm really enjoying knitting from it. But if you just want a, you know, DK weight shawl kit, let me know if you guys would be interested in that, and I can probably get up some of those dyed, or have Ethan dye them, and we'll get them in the shop. So I think that would be really cool. I really like these pairings together. I actually did have a request for just this on DK, so if we get more requests for that, then we could actually do a separate batch and just dye all DK of this. So yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. I know we're kind of going into spring and summer, so I wasn't sure if that is really something that would be desired. But I know that also DK weight yarn in general is kind of becoming more popular. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think, and what you're thinking about. But I forgot to mention what I'm making this shawl for. I mentioned last time, but this shawl is for a family friend who has cancer, and so I'm knitting this as like a prayer shawl for her. She doesn't know about it, but she does know that she's getting like a hat from my mother-in-law, and I think that's actually all she knows that she's getting. So yes, so we're making this for her, and just a bunch of other stuff, like a little care package. So planning to have that done by May, so we can get that out to her. And yeah, so it's really nice being able to like knit those good vibes into the shawl. So once again, that is the Inward Shawl by Tamy Gore. Then I thought, since it's the first podcast of the month, and I didn't do this last month, I would talk about Scrappy projects. So I've got in the little bag that my mother-in-law made me for Christmas with the puppy dogs on it, and it's a huge bag. I mean, I love the size of this bag. I had asked her for Christmas for just a really big project bag because I just don't have enough big ones. And so she made me this. So here is my crochet granny stripe. So here it is, and then there's a little progress keeper. Oh, you can kind of see it. That's where I was at last time I showed you guys. And yeah, I love it. I just do magic cakes for this. I really don't pay attention as to what I'm putting where, because I do the magic cakes, so it's just kind of like a surprise I do try to not have it line up where there's like over here, there's like a chunk of pastel, which I didn't really want to do because I like it when it's kind of like a little bit sporadic, but I really don't care, because if I really cared, then I would not do the magic cake, so I could, you know, be specific with it. But I really love this so much. It's one of my favorites. It's a really relaxing project and I just adore it. So the hook I'm using is a C hook by Clover. I got this on Amazon. I think it was their armor line, and yeah, I love it. It's my favorite. Awesome. So that is where I'm at on my granny stripe blanket. I want to put in as much work as I can on that before it gets too hot, because it's not fun to work on in the summer, and I probably won't work on it at all. Or my granny square blanket, my cozy memories blanket, which is living in this bag, which my aunt embroidered forever ago. I love this bag. Also a nice big huge bag. And let's see, so I put little markers on new squares that I did since the last time I showed you guys. So I'll try and show you the whole blanket, but now it's actually getting kind of difficult to show. So I think I'm showing it all. Here. So the new squares are this one, which is a part of a gradient set from Miss Babs. I use this in on the Spice Market shawl, which I wore in last week's episode. This is another one from the gradient set that I did. I thought this was a new one, but I don't think I put a marker in, so I'm sorry if I did show you this one last week, or last time. I don't think I did, so I'm pretty sure I just did this one. This is Brooklyn Tweed Loft in the Wood Smoke colorway. I knit that sockhead hat, and I knit that out of that, and so I put that in here. That hat has actually been commandeered by Ethan, which cracks me up, because one time he came downstairs and he was wearing it and I was like, oh, it looks really good on you. So it looks way better on him than it does on me. So I'm going to cast on another one. I really want to wear, I really want to knit a pink one. And I've always wanted to do it out of this homespun house yarn that I got. It's called Mirth. And I just think this and a sockhead hat, I just think this would be so amazing. I think that's actually why I bought this, if I recall. I think Molly on her podcast was knitting a sockhead hat out of this colorway, and I was like sold. So it's always kind of been destined for that. So I really, really want to cast that on sometime soon. Not sure when, but that's most likely what that will be. And then here's another one from the set. I think I actually have all of them in the blanket now. And that's it. So those are all of the new squares that are in. And like I said, this is another one of those that I'm probably gonna stop working on once summer comes. So I really do want to give those some more love throughout the spring before it gets too hot. So that is it for my Scrappy projects. Oh, and for the Cozy Memories blanket, I use a size US 2. I use the straight signature needles, which I love. Oh my gosh, that was a Christmas present. I love them. It's actually really changed how I knit on that. Like I gravitate towards working on that so much more than I did before because of those needles. It's no joke. I love them. So other than that, we will get into shop news. There will be mitten kits going up very soon in the shop. In theory, I would really like to have them up before this podcast is uploaded. So I'm hoping that while it's uploading, I can get the shop updated. That's the plan. We'll see how far I get because I have a good number of things to put in the shop. So we'll see how that goes. But that's the plan for now. And I still have to wind up some of the white skeins to go with the mittens So that's also something I still need to do before these can go in the shop. So I've got the yarn right here for the white ones. They just have to be made into mini skeins still, but this is one of the kits. This is the Magnolia kit, which is my new favorite. I knit the blue ones, which are sold out, but this is my, like, if I were to make another pair, it would be out of this set for sure. The other set that will be there is Fern. I love this green. It's just got a ton of depth to it, and I just can't get over it. I love how it's just got greens and blues and yellows throughout, and it's very, very subtle. Love it. And the pink, it's a really pretty tonal too. So that's Magnolia and Fern, and those kits will be up in the shop, like I said, hopefully today, otherwise very, very soon. And there is, if you are curious, there is a link to the shop right below in the description box. Otherwise it is thewoolenhomestead.etsy.com, and that's where you can find the shop. And let's see what else is in the shop. And I did want to mention too, there is no specific update. It's just like, it's not at a specific time. It's just I plan to get it updated today. Today is Tuesday, like I said, April 3rd. So that's the plan. Like I said earlier, we have Hagrid's Happy Hour on Sturdy Sock. And actually all of these that I'm going to show you are on our Sturdy Sock base, which is a Superwash Merino 75/25 nylon as well. And we've got Tiny Dancer, which is a brand new colorway. New favorite. Love it so much. Love this. Also got Solstice Twilight. I knit a pair of socks out of these. Love that. It's just got that like pastel purple with little pops of yellow in it. And we've got Morning Raindrops, which is a gray base with blue and yellow all throughout. Super good spring colorway. Aurora. It's got a pink base with pops of orange and yellow on it. And then with our new labels on it, we've got Cotton Candy. And so this is just a really pretty pastel pink with blues and purples in it. And our little metallic label on it. I love that. So those are slowly getting switched over. Like I said last week, we're not changing the ones that are already tagged just because that would be wasteful. So we're just gonna, all of the new ones that come out, those will be tagged with the new tags. And then actually I showed, this is another Solstice Twilight. If you want to see it again, I grabbed 2 of these. And then this is Barnwood. It's this really moody brown with shots of red and like blue and yellow and green, and it's a really pretty fall colorway, I think. We've got our tonal Northern Pine, which is currently in the shop. This is Odyssey, which is one of my new favorite colors. I really, really love this so much. Just all those like layers of blue and purple. It's gorgeous. And then we've got our tonal Stormy Night. So this is a really pretty dark purpley, just tonal color. Just got different layers and, you know, values of purple in there. And then Tranquil Blue is in the shop. So this is the color that I used in those socks for the heels. So you saw how this looks knit up. Lots of pretty different shades of blue in there. And then what is also going in the shop, which we have not had in quite a bit of time, is Earl Grey. I really, 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 really want like a multicolored shawl and have this be one of the neutrals in it, because it's just got this beautiful gray base with this like pops of like burnt yellow and burnt orange and green and purple in it. And this is just one of my favorite colorways too. And I think these two, I was like pairing these two earlier, Stormy Night and Earl Grey together earlier, and I just thought those look so pretty together. So yeah, that is it for, well, I've actually got one more. I completely forgot to talk about this. So, I talked a little bit about it last week that I was giving avocado dye a try, and yeah, it was quite the experiment. So I will show you what what became of it. So these two are Superwash. These are the sturdy sack base. So these are how these turned out. They're kind of like this rose gold color, just this really pretty pale pink. And yeah, it's kind of turning out a little bit different on camera, but it is a very pinky color. So that is those. And then I also had put in a non-superwash in the pot, which was my very first hand spun. And look at the difference in the shades. So, and I know that superwash yarn takes dye so much better than non-superwash, but it's just crazy the difference. These were all in the pot at the very same time. So I thought that was really, really interesting. So I am gonna put these up in the shop. I'm considering keeping one of them, but I don't, just because it was my first natural dyed yarn. But the thing is, I am keeping, this is my first hand spun, so I'm obviously keeping this. So I might just put these both in the shop. There's a good chance that I will, because I don't have a project in mind for these right away. So I would feel kind of selfish if I kept them. And I'm already collecting more avocado skins and pits to over dye my non-superwash yarn. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. I really want to do more natural dyeing and just have that as a kind of another thing to go into the shop. You know, so I don't know, I just thought that it was really, really cool. And you know, we're going into spring and summer, and it'll just be a good time to be able to go you know, into the woods and forage for things for dyeing. So especially because my husband is a very big woodsman, so you know, he's a hunter, he's always out in the woods in the summer. So I just think that'd be really fun for us to go together, even just for, you know, for a walk. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. I really, really like it. It's just a really pretty soft pink. So yeah, that was my adventures in avocado dye, and it was really, really fun. I used 4 skins and 3 pits, I believe was what I had. So going forward, I will probably try to do more than that because I want it just slightly darker. But that's the kind of cool part about, you know, trying this out and seeing what works and what doesn't. So I'm very happy with how those turned out. I think I just wanted a little bit darker. So yeah, that is it for shop stuff. Like I said, there's no update. These are just gonna be put into the shop. Like I said, I'm trying for today to get as much in the shop as possible. So if it's not today, it should be within the next couple of days. But some of it should be in the shop today. And then, let's see here. Last but not least, we're gonna talk about life stuff. So, it's been pretty crazy, as it always seems to be. But we went to my mom's for Easter, which was 2 days ago. And we were going to stay, okay, so Ethan was gonna stay with me Sunday night, and then he had school Monday night, so he was gonna go back on Monday and then come back and get me on Tuesday, because we didn't want to have to drive both cars out there. And our new little Ford Fiesta gets really good gas mileage, so he said that he would do that for me, which I thought was really sweet. And then so we were there, and it was super, super fun. We had just so many people there, like just huge amount of family, and it was really, really fun. We had my brother and his wife and their 2 kids. We had my sister and her husband and their 3 kids, and then my sister-in-law's dad and his wife were there, and they brought their dogs. That was really fun because I love dogs, as you know. And she was a cute little Maltese Shih Tzu, and so that was super, super fun. Ella was with us, and Ella and the little dog were kind of funny, because at first the little dog was really, really afraid of Ella, and so we did like a whole like meet and greet thing in the backyard, tried to do that. Well, Ella was on her leash because we had my brother's kids are very, very little still, and Ella doesn't have spatial awareness, and she's just so big that she would just knock them over, so I didn't want her to do that. And so I just kind of had her on her leash for the party. And well, because she was on her leash, that like kind of like heightened her up, and she was like really wanted to like play with this dog, but it was like really, really intense. So yeah, so Ethan went and took Ella on a run to get some excess energy out, and that really, really helped the situation. It wasn't really a problem, but it was a situation for sure. Well, then we let, we had Ella and the dog, Tessie was her name. She got to go kind of play around the house and get used to the place as well. And then when Ella came back, she was just so tired. It was so cute. And so she was just kind of laying down, and then Tessie just kept coming up to her and like barking at her and wanting to play, you know, and Ella's just like, I'm on a leash. I don't want to deal with this. She's just like, I'm just gonna lay here. But so yeah, that was just kind of funny. And then, so yeah, we ended up having 9 adults and 5 children there, and then 2 dogs. So, but the crazy part is my mom's house is so huge that it wasn't even like crowded. Like, it's awesome. It's just like this really, really old house from like the early 1900s. I actually did like a tour of it in one of my, oh, I think it was my last Christmas Vlogmas video, if you want to see what her house looks like. And yeah, it was really cool. And so Ella is a counter surfer, and she will steal food at any cost. And I wasn't thinking, and it was the end of the night, and you know, people had gone home, and it was just like me and my mom and Ethan, and my nieces were still there. And because they were gonna stay the night, the girls were. And I had let Ella off her leash, not thinking, because the little babies weren't there anymore. And so I just let her off her leash and let her run around. And then we were kind of sitting, we were just kind of crashing on the couch watching TV. And then I got to thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, there were chicken bones out on the counter. And like, I totally saw them earlier, but it didn't like put 2 and 2 together, you know what I mean? That because I had her on a leash the whole time. And I was like, oh no, she's probably got into those chicken bones. And so I ran out into the kitchen, and sure enough, the chicken bones were gone. She's laying on her side. She just like looks up at me like, hey mom, how's it going? And like, she was like not phased. But she was laying right next to it on the ground, and she was exhausted because of the busyness of the day. And yeah, so I was kind of freaking out because chicken bones and dogs are not a good mix. And so it was like 9:30 at night. There's no emergency vet nearby. And so I called one of the vets in our town here that patched me to an emergency vet, and I asked them what to do, you know. They said to just kind of let her be, but keep an eye on her, notice any lethargy or anything like that, any changes, and just give her a really, really bland diet for the next couple of days, like chicken and rice. And so we did that, and well, actually I didn't feed her that night because she had already eaten. And so I was really kind of freaking out. And so I knew that I wouldn't be able to be present, you know, and enjoy the time with them, with me feeling like that and just being so worried about my dog. And Ethan had decided that he would take her back home, so that way if something did happen, we have an emergency vet in town. Like our vet, actually, turns out, we didn't know this at first, but our vet is like on call. So he said that he would, you know, take her back, and then that way if anything did happen in the middle of the night, he'd be able to get her over there right away. And so I knew that I wouldn't be able to like concentrate. So we both went home that night and got back home here about midnight. And she did just fine through the night, and she was really, really good. She was in good spirits. And then she did really, really good yesterday. And so I was just kind of keeping an eye on her. And then yesterday I got a call from my dentist that I've been trying to get into, because I had really bad problems with the dentist in the past. I think I told you guys about that before. And they said they were able to get me in for a cleaning, and so I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go, because I wasn't able to get in until like June otherwise. And so I got in, and it was my old teacher from when I had taken some dental hygiene classes, and so it was really good to see her, and she was my hygienist. And then when the dentist came in to check out my mouth, they looked at that crown that I had so much trouble with from the last place, and they were basically like, yeah, this is not good. They were very professional with it. They weren't, you know, blaming or anything, but that was kind of the gist that I got, and that it needs to be completely redone. And insurance covers none of it. So I found that out yesterday. And so with the craziness of Easter with Ella, and then finding that out yesterday, I was just exhausted. And still the craziness of even just all of the people at the party, it was tiring. So that's why I didn't podcast yesterday. But today, feeling much better. I got a good night's sleep. just accepted the fact that I have to get a whole new crown done and pay it in full, and but I'm glad to be able to be with a good dentist and get it done right and just start over. So I'm very, very glad for that, because basically there's like a hole underneath, and because there's no enamel around that tooth underneath, it's just, if a cavity starts, I mean, it's just gonna go straight through. So it could be bad quickly. So they said it's kind of very urgent that I get it done. So that's gonna be happening very soon. But yeah, other than that, it's been a great couple of days. It was really good seeing family, and it was nice to have a good dental experience again, finally. Because the last couple of ones were not very good at all. And yeah, otherwise, I thought I'd talk about what I'm reading. I don't know if you guys know this. I feel like I've touched about this a little bit, but I love reading, but I'm not a good reader. So I don't make time for it, and every time I try to read, I usually like fall asleep and things like that. But I love books. I love going to the library, and I want to read some more. So I thought I'd start out with a children's book. And I'm reading A Wrinkle in Time. I read this in 8th grade, but I remember none of it. We had to read it for school. I remember none of it. I saw that they just made a new movie for it, and so I thought I would read this and then go see the movie. So not very far in it, but yeah, I remember literally none of it. So it's pretty cool. And this is a super old book, as you can kind of tell. You know, it's all yellowed on the inside, and it cost $2.95 back then. So yeah, I'm reading that. And then I really want to read, I love using the Overdrive app on my iPad and on my phone. It's connected through your library, and I think most libraries have this now, where you can rent ebooks and you can rent audiobooks through your library. And I found out, are doing like a book club, and it's actually a national book club. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just through my library, but it's called Flat Broke with Two Goats. That's the cover. And yeah, it's they've got it on audio and ebook, and it's like a national book club. So there's like a discussion online about it, and it goes from April 2nd to 16th, so it just started yesterday. And I thought I would read the synopsis of it, because I just think it sounds really, really cool. It's a nonfiction, it's a memoir, so this actually happened. So the tagline says, when life gets your goat, bring the herd. It says, Jennifer McGaha never expected to own a goat named Merle, or to be setting Merle up on dates and naming his doeling Merlene. She didn't expect to be buying organic yogurt for her chickens. She never thought she would be pulling camouflage carpet off her ceiling, or rescuing possums from her barn and calling it date night. Most importantly, Jennifer never thought she would only have $4.57 in her bank account. When Jennifer discovered that she and her husband owed back taxes, a lot of back taxes, her world changed. Now desperate to save money, they foreclosed on their beloved suburban home and moved their family to a 100-year-old cabin in a North Carolina holler. Soon enough, Jennifer's life began to more closely resemble her Appalachian ancestors than her upper-middle-class upbringing. But what started as a last-ditch effort to settle debts became a journey that revealed both the joys and challenges of living close to the land. Told with bold wit, unflinching honesty, and a firm foot in the traditions of Appalachia, Flat Broke with Two Goats blends stories of homesteading with the journey of two people rediscovering the true meaning of home. So yeah, I thought that sounded really, really cool. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I figure I can try the ebook, and then if it's not working, I'll just do the audiobook, because I can usually fit in an audiobook much easier than reading. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. But yeah, I was gonna let you guys know, because I thought, since it is a national one, to if that sounds interesting to you, to go check out your library and see if they're doing it. And the app is called Overdrive. So usually you can just download the app, and then you can just click on your library, and then it will be linked to it. So yeah, so that's all I've got for you guys this week. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you had a wonderful Easter. And yeah, feel free to give this video a like and subscribe if you did enjoy it. I always appreciate it. I always appreciate comments that you guys leave. There will be show notes in the description box below. I did that last week. It worked out really well. I hope you guys really enjoy the week to come. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.